Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Nick, aka Capers, and this is your weekly high quality roundup. Weekly high quality roundup. Yep, that's the
High quality weekly
high
roundup.
quality weekly high quality weekly roundup. That's the one. Okay, we got there. We got there. Maybe we should add that to the slide. Anyway, today I'm joined by Cull. Hello, Cull. How are you?
Hey, I am doing great this evening. How are you going?
Good, good. I'm excited to get into this one. It's going to be a bit more of a brisk one. We don't have any interviews today. We just have all of the results and a couple of deck lists that we have out. We have deck list expert Carl here to give us an overview of it and all the key cards and cards that he thinks the deck should be playing instead. So exciting for that. So let's start from the top and let's move over to Adelaide. We had Tabletop Warfare. This was Monday at 6:30 p.m. We had 16 players. And the 4-0 was Naya lands. One sec, I'm just going to check if Naya lands actually did 4-0.
You don't believe
It did actually. I like in my head, I was like, wasn't Naya lands one of the 3 ones? No, Naya lands 4-0. Okay, I'm not cutting that. Congrats to Hayden for the 4-0 on Naya lands. Do not scratch your eyes. It is true. Let's jump into that deck list, Carl.
Yes, I myself am no stranger to a bit of a lands deck. I love a bit of life in the loam, a bit of crop rotation, a bit of red and six, and this has all 3 of those going on for it. There's a few cool new additions in this deck. We got Baloth Prime. It's only a 4-drop, but it is a 10/10. It does come in tapped, but your second lands to stuff like your Reclaimer, to your Knight, to Zora and Orb, everything, and it comes pretty big out of nowhere. We've also got a Diamond Weapon, which is a card I've yet to try. But, I mean, if you're milling yourself with Life from the Loam or Rydia discards, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and Tanook. This is a heater from the newer set as well, Edge of Eternities.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this card's good or not myself yet, but he looks cool. He looks like he's standing on business, and I can get behind that.
That's a big fella as well. We also have some interesting includes. I don't think I've seen many Enlightened Tutor decks recently, so I'm really happy to see that's getting some play. And Legolas's Quick Reflexes. Nobody is ready for this card. Nobody is ready for for you to protect your diamond weapon with it, or, in the split second as well. It's just. And Cosmic Rebirth, what is that doing in this deck, Carl?
I mean, Rebirth is obvious one. It's an instant speed, put a land back onto the battlefield, and it doesn't come into battlefield tapped, which is sweet. The cool thing about Legolas's Quick Reflexes here, though, is that it untaps your Knight of the Reliquary or your Elvish Reclaimer on top of everything else.
Beautiful.
So if you don't need to protect things, you can just double search.
True. If you thought crop rotation was a scary card in lands, imagine a knight doing it twice. It's terrifying. Yeah, this list seems really cool. Naya, I wasn't expecting it, but I can see you do get a premium removal suite. We get a pre-war formal wear as well, which is really interesting. Sheltered by Ghosts is a really good card for protecting things like your Scythe Cat Cub. And then obviously we're on your social engineering as well. So a bunch of really cool cards that we can go get with our inline tutor, which is really interesting and a really interesting way to take your points. Big fan of this deck. And the basic lands.
Yeah, very sweet. Shout out Lance, as always.
Lands, always good. Alright, let's kick back to Adelaide to finish off Tabletop Warfare. We had 3 ones. Mardu Turbo Initiative. Those are some words. And Wet Jund. Any thoughts on those lists, Carl?
I haven't heard of Wet Jund before. I've heard of Hot Bug,
Hot Bug.
but this Wet Jund is throwing me off.
Yeah, it's always Hot Bug. Maybe consider the deck rename, even if you're only splashing blue. Now, staying in Adelaide, we had the Dragon's Lair Invitational event. So this is the invitational event that's going to feed into the event and all events invitational series that they're doing. And this was the invitational event for Dragon's Lair. So our Swiss standings were Storm, Thoracle Reanimator, Time Vault, Storm again, Mardu, Walks, Golgari lands, and Jund, and our winner to take it out was Time Vault, which we'll be looking at very shortly. Second was Jund, and from what I've read on the Discord, Jund was able to beat both Storm decks on their way to the second spot. So congratulations to that Jund player for beating what is considered an unbeatable deck. Seems like they must have their sideboarding in check.
Yeah, and well done to Adelaide for putting 0 Grixis in the top 8 and 6 combo decks.
I think maybe bus stop should get in the car and drive down and show them what's up because I think Rixus might have a field day against this top 8. But yeah, really interesting. And Time Vault, like, it's real. The deck's real. We actually have the Time Vault list here, so let's jump over to Shane's Time Vault list. Cull, tell me about it as our deck expert.
So usually you see in Time Vaults in these kind of blue-white configurations. This one's got the red in as well, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer kind of guy. But Iron Man is a big draw for this Time Vault list.
Yeah.
It is not just playing the one Vault Key 2-card combo. We've also got Painter Servant and Grindstone. We've got Dr. Foundry and Sword of the Meek. So it's just trying to put a bunch of different ABs together. So having Iron Man as another copy of your Fiddle Bender or Repurposing Bay to find the B for your A or the A for your B. It's very, very sweet. I know there's a certain 4-drop creature here you're a huge fan of.
Are you talking about Urza?
I'm not talking about Urza.
I'm looking. Oh yes, okay, yeah. Delivery Moogle. This card is real. I packed this, and I when I kind of threw out the rest of the cards from the pack, I put this one in a nice sleeve, and I said one day I will fetch a Time Vault with it, and it's here. The card's real, and that's a great reason to splash the splash white is to play Delivery Moogle. It has flying as well, so it is an evasive threat for 4 mana. Yep, this is terrifying card.
Yeah, it can take back the initiative. It comes back and finds the Time Void. It does everything really.
This card, it slices and dices. What else is in this deck? United Battlefront, Cal. Tell me about this card. What is this doing in the deck?
This is just Coco for every card you could want it to be. Really, it doesn't find Painter Servant, but it finds every other combo piece you could imagine. As does Tinker as well. Obviously, one of the points going towards Tinker, a notable powerful card in the history of Magic. In this deck, obviously, a lot of options for the Tinker, including a Citadel, which I'm not even sure if we can make triple black to cast. Oh, we can go Pedal, Mopal, and an Astrolabe, but yeah, Bolster Citadel, a great Tinker target.
Yeah, nobody's done any fair things with Bolus or Citadel outside of food midrange. So it seems like in this deck it's a home run. Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Canberra. We have a slightly smaller Jolt Games event. I believe maybe some people are just recovering from last week's events. In the 3-0 slot, we had our 8-point red-white mid-range deck, which is very interesting to see. Maybe moving away from that kind of aggro legends list and more into some bigger creatures. Maybe some Lelias. Maybe a Headliner Scarlet. I think I just listed 2 legends, but you
did, yeah. But put some more 4-drops in there than usual.
Yeah, okay, sure. Maybe they're on the Pyroglyph as well. And then we got 2-1. We had another Time Vault deck, so Esper Time Vault this time. So moving away from Jeskai, still probably playing Delivery Moogle, which is exciting. And then in the 2-1 slots, we had 8-point Bugger midrange, Gruul lands, 8-point Dimir Moons, Breach Bond, 8-point Blue-Red Prowess, and Ice Till Jund.
It's good to see some food showing up here as usual.
Yes.
It's a 4-letter word I'd love seeing on these spreadsheets.
I agree. This deck it's great. It's real. It's just remember that when we move over to Melbourne, that I said it's real. I promise. Staying in Canberra for now. 7 players at Ronin Games. We had the 3-0 taking out was Tellurian Wheels. This is a deck that I actually haven't seen in a while. Probably because the price tag on it is a little bit high. But yeah, really sweet deck. And then in the 2-1 we had another Time Vault deck. Is this the new Storm? It might just be. We had Dimir Time Vault, so getting rid of white, not playing Delivery Moogle, which is probably why they went 2-1. And then the 8-point red-white midrange has returned. So maybe that player is just driving around, taking out the events. And then 2-1 as well, we had the same maybe the same Ice Still Jund deck from the previous event. So yeah, what do you think of the lineup here, Cole?
Yeah, it's cool to see a third Time Vault of the list so far, and a third color combination. We've gone from blue-white, kind of Jeskai based to just Esper last time, and now we're on just straight Dimir. Obviously, Dimir gives you Thought Seizers, Inquisitions, Fatal Pushes, and Baleful Tricks and Basim, but it's cool to see the Time Vaults getting around.
Yeah, Basim would be interesting too. I wonder if they're on that new one as well from Final Fantasy, that 2-mana one. what's it called? Golbez. Surely they're on Golbez. Surely they're Golbezing it.
No Golbez.
Okay. They're not Golbezing it. We've just checked. They're not Golbezing it. Golbez
Shout out
is
Golbez.
nuts. Yeah. Okay, moving to Mazer Fitzroy in Melbourne. Taking the 4-0 out, once again, it's Melbourne, so Storm. Richard on Storm, I think it was Richard taking out the 4-0. And then the 3-1s we had Storm, Nadu, I believe it's Moltron Nadu, Grixis, and Storm again. So 16 players, 3 of those in the room being Storm pilots means you have to be ready to beat Storm down in Melbourne. And then the notable 2-1 was 5 color mid-range, and squaring it all out at 2-2 was Nadu again, Golgari lands, and Amulet Titan. For those that have been watching over the last few weeks, Olivier is still fighting the good fight with the Amulet Titan deck. Anything you want to talk about here, Cull?
Look, there's the impressive side of stats with Storm going 10-2, but I want to look down at the bottom there. What's that bottom right corner?
That's Clamp Chowder. Now, listen, I was convinced I was in my bag with this one. It's a deck that plays it. There's a fair bit of overlap with Cauldron Familiar and Cloud, Midgar Mercenary, and Skull Clamp. And I was like, what if you could play a deck that plays, the Cauldron Familiar with the Skull Clamp? You're just drawing cards, churning through your deck. You're playing the Samwise Cat combo as well. We're playing that new 2-mana Visceracia that can also sack artifacts. What ended up happening was I was putting in Cauldron Familiars and Samwises into play, and I was dying to Storm. So it didn't pan out. And the deck sucks. I'll never sleeve it up again. So please don't ask me for the deck list. You're not going to get it. Moving on to plenty of games. The 4-0 this week, yet again, was Storm. In the 3-1 slot, we had Atraxa Walks, Orzhov Death and Taxes, Shops, Storm again, and Mono Black. At 2-1, it was me on Junk. I had to play a good deck. And then in the 2-2 slot, we had Goblins, Esper mid-range with Ketramos. We had Nadu, 2 Golgari lands, Flash Hulk Nadu, and Jund. Any thoughts on plenty of games, Cull?
Look, Golgari lands the true heroes, and it's not because it's Will and I putting up the constant 2 wins, if not better, results every week, but it's a cool variation of list here. Like, it's not all Storm and Grixis and Walks. Like, we got Mono Black here, we got D&T, we got Shops. It's a bit more variance than usual.
Yeah, I think statistically you're going to play Storm in at least one of your rounds, but you are going to play a bunch of really interesting decks, and you're going to get a good variation of decks you play against. I ended up coming against Storm in my final round and getting the loss, but I also got to play against Grix Historical. I got to see Flash Hulk and Jund and Mono Black. So yeah, plenty of games, always a good time. And yeah, shout out to Richard again for another 4-0. Moving down to, I guess, up to Games Portal, we had 21 players on Friday, and the 4-0 was Walks. The 3-1 was Boros, Orzhov Death and Taxes, Mardu, Jeskai Control, and in the 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw slot, we had Rakdos Time Vault, Selesnya Lands, and Rakdos Eclipse. Another Time Vault list, just shout out quietly, Time Vault, seeing more and more plays, really exciting. But Cull, what do you think of this spread?
I think the coolest list here is the Rakdos Time Vault, and it's not just because I sleeved it up this week. It was interesting. I've been going to Games Portal the past few fortnights, and it's a nice difference to the Plenty of Games, where Plenty of Games is very black-based with Thought Seizers and Fatal Pushes, and Games Portal, there's Swords to Plowshares flying everywhere. But it's a nice change, a nice difference, and it was fun. Yeah,
I can see that in the all of the lists in that 3-1 upwards are all playing white, which is interesting. So yeah, very, very interesting. It's good to see. I'm gonna have to make my way up to Games Portal on a Friday and make the trek, because this looks like a great place to play a nice fair deck like my little Abzan Chunk deck. So very interesting, and very cool. Let's move on now to Perth, swinging all the way to the coast. Now, we didn't have any in-depth reporting for our Perth this week, but what I can tell you is that Good Games Morley, Prison Bots, and Boros Stonecutters took out the event at 3 wins, 0 loss, and 1 draw. And then at Good Games North, they had I believe it was a Winner Gaia's Cradle event, and that was taken out by Grixis. So fighting the good fight with the Grixis deck. Any thoughts on these Perth events, Cull?
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering how the bus stop players took a bus that far across to Perth from Sydney and Canberra, but obviously the bus ride made it, and they've won themselves a nice cradle, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Cradle's a good card. Maybe that Grixis player can now start playing junk or food. Who knows? Hit me up for that deck list, Grixis player. Moving through to Sydney now for Good Games Chatswood Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We have 7 players, but we have one list we're really interested in. I think you can already spot it. Now, I will go through the list first, but we have 5-color Yorion Living End at 3-0. So we are going to look into that list quite shortly, but we are also going to talk about 2 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw, 8-point scales. I hope it's Cody fighting the good fight. And then at 2-1, we had Esper Time Vault, so another Time Vault deck, and Simic Shop Bond. Those are all some words. And I just want to shout out the Slivers player as well. Keep fighting the good fight. We are watching you with a keen eye. We're very interested in that deck. But yeah, Cull, tell me about this. This roundup.
I think this Yorion list is so sweet. It's cool to see like Scales and Shop Bond. I assume Shop Bond is just playing a fast bond, possibly to go with their End Stone or something in the deck. But a nice variation as well. Once again.
Agreed. Speaking of nice decks, let's move over to the 5-color Yorion Living End deck. There's a lot to talk about here, Cull. So yeah, talk to me.
This is so sweet. It's got so many creatures that either cycle or channel or just put themselves in the grave of some kind. Whether it's like something well renowned like a Troller Khazad-dûm or something a bit more indie like a Glass Dusk Hulk. A lot of these creatures are putting themselves in the grave. You can evoke your creatures, let them sacrifice. You can throw in your Uros and Flages and not escape them so they're back in the bin. And then eventually cast a Living Death or a Living End and spin the wheel on the table and put your giant graveyard full of creatures back onto the field at once. And it's a Yorion deck. It's playing 20 extra cards than usual, but it's still playing DT and Demonic Council to find these pieces that bring the whole board back. And it's even managed to fit a Forcer Will in its 5-color deck.
This list is amazing. I love seeing this. It looks terrifying to play against. There's obviously like a bit of a mid-range plan as well with like the Karvu in a 5-color deck, Overlord of the Balmerk, Omnath, and Flage. So my initial thoughts were, wow, this deck just folds to a Spellbomb. But I think there is a really grindy, interactive deck here that can play to the board really well with like your Furies, Baleful Strix, Bloodbraid Marauder as well. And then it also has the ability to just cycle out a bunch of cards and just put its entire graveyard onto the battlefield, which is very cool. So congratulations. This is probably one of the coolest decks we've ever looked at in any of the weekly wrap-ups. And yeah, this is just art.
Monstrous Carabid. What a card.
I had to read this. I don't know what set this came out. I don't know if I was even born yet when this card came out, but it looks great. It's a 5-mana 4/4 with downside.
Like draw a card and then Living Death it back. It's sweet.
It's got downside. It's 5-mana 4/4 with downside. I guess. Okay. Anyway, this is great. Yeah, great deck. This is sick. The pards probably watching this just like so angry at their screen, like shaking their monitor, just listening to us just say the complete wrong stuff about this deck.
Yeah, shout out Lachlan. This list is sweet.
Yeah, really appreciate this. I've read some new cards today, and that's something that I don't get to do often, so I appreciate it. And good job on the 3-0. Keep up fighting the good fight. Now, we're going to stay in Sydney for a little bit more, and we're going to go to Chromatic Games. Thursday at 7 p.m. We had 15 players, so a nice turnout here. And the three wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw. We had Grixis and Reanimator. So good to see Grixis popping up again. At the 3-1, we had Breach, Flash Hulk, and Storm. So a bit of combo going around in those top 5 lists. Only Grixis being the quote-unquote fair deck. What do you think about the field here, Cull?
It's been a few different weeklies we've looked at today that have had a X0 and draw for the top decks. I wonder if people are just IDing to get the good results to appear on the roundup or not. But it's a nice spread of list once again. Obviously, Yorion Living End's back. We got Rakdos Madness this time. We got Time Vault still showing up. And yeah, I love it.
Cool decks. Great job, Chromatic Games Sydney. let's move over to the Gong, Wollongong. With the 4-0, we had Blue Academy. Now, if I'd have to take a guess at the main card in their deck, I'd imagine it would be Tough Cookie. Okay, maybe it's Academy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other color academies there are. I think all my clearing academies just make blue, but it's good to see one showing up with the 4-0.
Is there's surely a card from like Portal or Visions or something that changes the color that it produces? I'm sure there's a card out there. Maybe they should consider that. Turn your academy into like a Lake of the Dead. Genius.
Is it contamination that'll let it tap for
Yeah.
a billion black mana or something?
Yeah, what about Blind Seer? Does that do it? I don't think that's also. What a commander card. 3-1, we had Dark Jeskai tokens. I imagine that's just Jeskai tokens splashing. What is it? Grixis White, maybe? Jund.
Yeah, I think it stands green. Pile.
Sans green, 4-color tokens. Jund and Grixis. And then I had to bring it up. 0-4, but still, fighting the good fight is Merfolk. Keep it up. We love the deck. We've had it on our channel before. Billy has been brewing Merfolk for a while, and it is the scourge of the format, so, maybe people were just sideboarding specifically to beat it. That could be why. But, yeah, still a great deck. Cull, what do you think of this field?
Yeah, look, it's tough seeing the Merfolk go 0-4. I believe Wollongong is near the ocean, so you'd think the fish would be doing a little bit more swimming. But Rug Storm is a cool appearance here.
Yeah, I wonder if we're doing the what is it, like the Red Storm stuff with the medallions and stuff.
Yeah, I imagine it's doing something with Song of Creation and the like. That's the best Rug Storm card I can think of right now that's using all the colors. But I guess you still get your cantrips, you get your Red Storm cards, and green probably gives you a Fast Bond and Veil of Summer and the like.
Yeah, very interesting. Moving on, that is our roundup for this week. For more info on weekly and fortnightly events, we do have a where can I play 7-Point Highlander video that is always linked in the description for you. We also have the 7-Point Highlander Discord and the Rad Nauseam Discord linked to you. Just a quick reminder before we jump into the thanks is to just give us a like and subscribe as well. It really does help the channel. And moving on to the thanks, big shout out to all of these people: Raj, Zach, Billy, Cull, Harry, Mike, Lockie, Stephen, and Ariel for reporting all of this information to us. It's because of these people that we're able to make this video every week. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have any way of getting all of this data to you. So a big thank you to them. And if you see them on the Discord, give them a bit of a love because they are great and they do give us a bunch of deck lists every week. And they're just there at weeklies, getting people's names, getting people's lists. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for watching the weekly roundup. Sorry it's about a day late this time. We struggle sometimes. But I appreciate you guys all for watching, and we'll be back again. Yeah, I struggle.
No.
We'll see you again next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully on time.